Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas. Did you ever want to visit this property while you were staying at a nearby hotel? Or maybe you're on a cruise that has a port stop in Nassau. Whatever your reason for wanting to visit Atlantis, the day passes are a great option for cruise ship passengers or any other travelers that are visiting as an excursion. Now, if you didn't know already, anyone can always visit the lobby, Crystal Court shops, the casino, and Marina Village for free. But what if you wanted to visit the Dig Aquarium? The Aquaventure Water Park with its iconic slides and attractions like the Leap of Faith and Rapids River Ride. What about swimming or interacting with dolphins, trying water sports in their calm water lagoon, or just taking a dip in the crystal clear waters of the Bahamas? So in this video, I'm going to break down all you need to know about the Atlantis Day Passes that are offered and whether or not it's worth its expensive price tag, and plus some other tips. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about those internet hacks that you might have seen and whether or not they still work. All right, let's get it. Okay, first of all, where do you buy your passes? Now, this is going to depend on where you're coming to Paradise Island from. If your cruise offers excursions to Atlantis on their respective apps or websites, you can, of course, purchase your passes with them. Carnival and Norwegian Cruise Lines will offer some of the day passes to their cruise ship passengers on specific sailings. Currently, sites like Resort for a Day and TripAdvisor affiliates aren't offering day passes to Atlantis like they do for Baha Mar. Royal Caribbean sells excursions for Baha Mar also, but not Atlantis. So my suggestion is to use the website to purchase passes directly from Atlantis. You won't get the included transportation, but we'll get to that in a minute. So just navigate to atlantis.com/daybooking. On their site, you'll get to see all they have to offer for non-guests of the Atlantis Hotel, as entry to some, if not most, of the attractions are included already for hotel guests. You'll see the offerings for the Aquaventure Day Pass there, as well as other add-ons like the dolphin encounters. With the full day pass, you see that you get access to the water park for the day, access to most of the resort pools and beaches, the Dig Aquarium and Predator Tunnel, as well as all the free areas like the casino, Marina Village, and the Crystal Court shopping, dining, and areas that are near the lobby. It shows you that a taxi is the fastest way to the property, but we'll touch on that in a bit. So let's click Book Now to see all they have to offer from the website as pre-purchase options. We're going to put in a random Wednesday in the summer, like when I recently visited. You'll see the Aquaventure Day Pass here and going rate for July of 2026. Now, the prices are going to fluctuate due to the season and time of year. The Dolphin combo passes are there, the Edge Beach Reserve passes, or if sea lions are more your thing, they have combo passes with those also. So as you can see, there's going to be all kinds of passes you can pre-purchase. You can even snorkel in the ruins of Atlantis, which I have on my bucket list for the next time. Down here, this is where you're also going to see the different cabana rentals on the property if having a private lounging experience is your thing. Now say you're thinking, well, there's so many different types to choose from. Which pass should I buy? When you arrive at the ticket or wristband booth, you're going to see the selections and prices for passes that you didn't see online, such as the entry fee to the dig, which is called the Aquarium Pass. Now, this pass used to be offered online, but when we checked, I couldn't find it anywhere any longer for pre-purchase. So this one you will actually need to buy directly from the booth the day of your visit. It doesn't seem to change with the seasons, and it was listed at $60. All the other passes are going to have a price listed, but they don't appear to change the signage at different times of the year. For example, on our day, the water park admission still said $195 for adults, but it actually wasn't. It was $255 at the booth and online. If you plan to use the water park, in addition to any other attractions, you have to buy the Aquaventure Day Pass at the very least. You cannot just buy the rapid, river, and pools alone as a pass, or just the beach and the pools only. But you can, however, purchase just the dolphin encounters or the observation pass if you just want to watch other members of your party swim, interact, kayak, or paddleboard with the dolphins, but you don't actually want to. You can do the same with the sea lions and other marine animals without having to buy the full day pass. Now, the Dolphin Key and Aquaventure Combo Pass is what gets you both. But honestly, I don't feel you get your money's worth trying to do both of those activities in the same day trip. When we stayed at Atlantis for a week, we were able to spend a good amount of time swimming and playing with the dolphins and then hanging out at that beach they have there afterwards. So to get your full bang for your buck, you want to split that up. The Edge Beach Reserve Pass can be pre-purchased online or bought at the booth, and it does seem to stay the same price throughout the year. It was $50 per person, and while the beach itself is open to the public, as beaches are in the Bahamas, this pass allows you to lounge at a specific part of the East Beach property, where wait staff will bring you food and drinks from their nearby beach bar. Now, the food and beverages are at an additional cost. The lounger with the Bimini shade is included, but those loungers are going to be on a first come, first served basis as far as where it's located. Towels are available at guest services, and this is the pass I would buy if just a standard beach day with food and drink service is your vibe. Now, the aquarium pass for the dig are $60, and as far as I can tell, can only be purchased at the booth. Your specific cruise ship may offer it to passengers that don't want to go to Aquaventure or any of the other paid property attractions, but you'll know if you see it, it'll just specifically reference the dig or the Predator Lagoon along with that. If you love aquariums, it is pretty cool, and as a standalone attraction, it is worth it in my opinion. Just remember that it's only sold from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. So even if you get there all bright and early like we did, they're not going to sell it to you until noon. Now let's talk about the buying process and the e-waiver. You will save so much time if you pre-purchase your tickets, with the exception of the aquarium pass, of course. Before you arrive, buy your tickets. You don't want to do the waiver too far in advance because I think it's only valid for 3 days prior to your arrival. But once you purchase your pass on their website, you're going to get an email confirmation receipt, and it will include a link to fill out the waiver. A waiver must be filled out for any and all passes for each member of your party. The link allows you to e-sign the forms, and it has a document number attached to it. You can print it out afterwards like I did, but you will get another confirmation email that you have completed the forms. They were able to see that I completed it for the 3 of us, so the printed copy turned out to be not necessary. Something I failed to remember, though, was that online it said that I had to bring my ID, the same credit card that I paid with, to show them. Kishana, she didn't have her card, but they let her sign into her online bank account, and they showed the lady the charge on her transaction list instead, and they were able to go ahead and give her wristband. But just keep that in mind. Now, as far as refunds are only given within 3 days of arrival. So for this reason, we waited until the night before our port stop to buy the passes. Okay, so now you're wondering, well, how am I going to get there? The excursions offered through the cruise lines will probably include transportation, but as we all know, they don't leave until all the passengers that booked that same excursion are present, and some say they didn't give them the waiver form until that day, which causes delays in waiting for everyone to fill it out. Others took the water taxi or ferry, but reviews of the ferry state that they don't leave until the seats are completely full, and then on the way back it drops you off really far from the entrance to the cruise pier. So with that in mind, my recommendation is just as Atlantis states, a taxi. Taxi stands are at the pier right outside of the shopping booths. They will hail you the right size taxi for your party and have you right over to Paradise Island in no time. That way you can enjoy the maximum amount of time for your excursion, and you won't wind up spending an hour each way on the ferry or waiting for a bunch of other passengers to load onto the shuttle. Now, the number one thing that turns most people off is, will I have enough time to make the pass worth the cost? So as we all know, worth compared to cost is subjective. Everyone has their own idea of how much a certain experience is worth to them. If you spend $60 at a nearby amusement park and you spend most of that day waiting in lines, but you still enjoy the little bit that you were able to do, then the $60 was probably worth it for you and your family. But if you spend $255 for an adult and $125 for children 4 to 12 years old, you probably don't want to spend most of that day waiting in lines. Reviews that are slamming these passes for this reason aren't really being all that fair, though. If the pass to Aquaventure was as cheap as US-based amusement or water parks, it would be overcrowded just like US-based water parks are. With a combination of a higher price and the controlled capacity, you're able to have the day we did with little to no crowds. If I'm not mistaken, the only line we encountered was to buy food. Other than that, there was plenty of free lounge chairs with umbrellas included with your fare, plenty of space in all the pools. The lines were such that we were able to ride the slides that we wanted multiple times back to back. And we made it back to the front of Atlantis to catch a taxi with plenty of time to spare, even with traffic. So it all comes down to planning, y'all. The pre-purchase of your passes, if you're able, and filling out your waiver beforehand, taking a taxi versus the ferry or a group shuttle, in addition to mapping out your day using the Atlantis app or online map. This all just makes your experience so much better, and you know where you want to be ahead of time so that you can head there first and get started early. Watch my 4-day on Jewel of the Seas video if you want to get a full vlog of our day in Nassau, where I time-stamped our excursion the entire day. Now, as far as the other passes, naturally, you should not pay the $50 for the Edge Beach Pass unless you care about the lounger with the shade and having beach staff wait on you. Cabbage Beach is open to the public. Now, the Dig Pass is definitely worth it, and our family, we had a terrific time when we did all the dolphin activities over by the Cove Complex as well. Keep in mind, there is no charge for the casino, the shopping, dining, and walking around Marina Village, which is pretty nice too. Now, for all those people that absolutely cannot wait to get back on the ship in order to eat lunch, they want to know, are the food and drinks expensive? Simply put, yes, but not any more expensive than you'd expect at any other amusement park. There's plenty to choose from with food shacks by the pool serving your usual pool fare like hot dogs, hamburgers, pizzas, and snacks. There is a little plaza with a few sit-down inside restaurants like the Shake Shack. This is where we happened to choose to have lunch. The price came out to around $50 for the three of us. We had 2 burgers to split since we didn't want to be too full. We had fries, we had bacon and cheese fries, and Starbucks iced coffee. So it was expensive, but not too crazy for a water park. I can't comment on the alcoholic drinks because I didn't drink any this time, but fountain sodas were, I believe, $5, and they offered a really expensive option and a refillable souvenir cup. You could also bring your own, like a Yeti or something like we did, to refill with free filtered water throughout the park all day as well. Otherwise, the water bottles, I think it was Dasani, they were like $3. And just remember that all receipts are going to show the included VAT and gratuity. So it doesn't matter what you buy in the Bahamas, everything has VAT. Okay, Kat, but I heard on TikTok and Reddit that there are so many internet hacks that you can use to buy Aquaventure passes. Why not do that? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that the Atlantis Day Pass Aquaventure Pass hack with Comfort Suites does not work anymore. Comfort Suites Paradise Island is a great alternative to actually staying at Atlantis because with every reservation, you're going to get daily water park passes. I think you get 4 of them. But they have made some changes and tweaked their restrictions a little bit to where you cannot get the voucher to turn in for the passes until check-in, which for them is 3 p.m. And unfortunately, as we all know, cruise ship passengers have to be back on their ship by 5 o'clock. So the little 2 hours in between is not going to cut it. Also, you have to make your reservation 48 hours prior to the day that you want to actually check in. And so you can't just show up in Nassau anymore and then book a room at, Comfort Suites and then go in and get your passes because that's not going to work. So pretty much that hack is dead simply by those few restrictions that they've put in. So I also saw some Redditors that were like, well, just book a room at Atlantis in the Coral Towers and then get your passes that way. Well, no, that's not going to work either. I tried that. I had a special discount with Atlantis to stay in the Coral Towers. After I put the dates I wanted to go and get my passes in the cart, and say like for 4 people, 2 adults, 2 children, it's like $760, and it's like $1,020 for 4 people if they're all over 12. When you put that in your cart, your total, or my total, was $1,200, even with my discount, because of the VAT, the daily resort fee. And so by the time you're done with all the fees, it's more than the passes. And the reason is because they make you book a minimum of 2 days. If you could just book 1 day, then you would come out cheaper. But after you add 2 days, the price is way more than the cost of the passes. So no matter how you slice it, booking a room is not going to be cheaper. I even tried using a comp that I got from MGM Rewards, but the way the comps work, you have to play in the casino and spend a certain amount, and if you don't, they charge that to your room at checkout because you didn't play the minimum amount of time in their casino. And of course you want to be in the water park, so then that's not going to work either. So in other words, folks, just buy the pass. But if you know of any hacks or tricks that you've tried that worked and helped you score discount Aquaventure passes, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear about the different ways that you came up with that actually worked. If you found this video informative or you just liked it, please do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching the video. Until next time, bye-bye.